Today we're going to be taking a look at Tom Clancy's H.A.W.X, which is a aerial warfare title from our good friends at Ubisoft. Tom Clancy's an author who's really turned himself into a viable commodity when it comes to video games. I can say that all the video games I've played that have his name on them are pretty good at worst, and at best they're actually excellent. They show a lot of great focus and design. H.A.W.X reminded me a lot of a game I used to play back in the day, which was an adaptation of the Top Gun movie for the Nintendo system. That game was basically like a radar screen with some little planes flying against an empty sky. Kind of stupid and silly, yet it was awesome at the same time because it's really hard to ruin the experience of flying a fighter jet. Like that Top Gun game, H.A.W.X has no interest in realism or common sense in any way. It's definitely not a flight simulation game. It takes place in 2014, where I guess American aviation technology has developed past the point where the laws of gravity and aerodynamics apply. The player never runs out of fuel or missiles and can pretty much fly missions upside down. What H.A.W.X loses in realism, it makes up for in the sheer fun of the game. Initially, for the first missions, you have to target enemies that are on the ground, and the ground is represented graphically as a kind of flat, open space. But when the missions move out into the sky, it works a lot better when you're fighting against opposing planes and chasing jets and dogfights. It's really great to be able to whip around and fly at top speeds in that situation. To fully enjoy the game, the player has to get over the hump of a rather confusing control scheme. You're required to control altitude and directional movements at the same time as you control your camera, which can cause some problems. After all, the game allows you to look directly behind you, which isn't really useful, because if you do that more than a few seconds, you'll end up taking a dive into the ground. But additional satellite and radar technology in the game helps a lot. Gives the player a better sense of their space and their relationship to other objects. You don't get a lot of help from your computerized assistants, who basically just fly around and yell things like, "Nice shot" and "No joy," as if that's worth any help at all. In conclusion, I'd say that H.A.W.X is an intermittently fun game. It has some exceptional presentation elements, although I would recommend it for someone who's looking more for a solid action game, and not if you're looking for a realistic flight simulation. The game is no Rainbow Six, but it definitely improves on the End War title in droves. Tom Clancy's H.A.W.X is available now for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC.